Welcome back. We are on video 4 now of our Lead the Leader training session. And what I want to talk to you about now is what to do with your new consultant after their launch party. We've already set the goal or at least planted the seed for their next goal is to hit certified if they haven't already with their launch party. We've introduced sensational start levels and talked to them about that. This is also a great time to make sure that they've registered in their pay portal and that they are set up for success with getting paid. Explain to them when payday is, explain to them about the compensation plan. But again, let's do this in bite-sized chunks. I like to, at this point, just talk to them about what the different ranges are in the first 3 levels, right? So I like to talk essential consultant, which is probably where they are still at right now, if not teetering on certified with that launch party, and explain the pay difference between an essential and a certified consultant, that 5% pay gap. And that's for life as a certified consultant. Then talk to them about a lead consultant. Talk to them about the benefit of recruiting and explain to them that they don't need to know everything right away. First of all, they're going to get training from Sensi as they need it, just as you did, right? You're going to get that email. There's this training series, there's our team page, there's all the resources that we have available. And the biggest regret most of us have is not recruiting sooner. So making sure that they understand that they're going to start unlocking downline bonuses or frontline bonuses with successful recruits, and also start unlocking those PWV, that personal wholesale volume bonuses too, once they start recruiting. There's also, as a reminder, the fantastic, which may be a good reminder for you, because if this is your first recruit, you may not have promoted yet to lead. Did you know that once you promote to lead, you then become findable on our PWS, our personal website? Which means that if a local customer who does not have a current Sensi consultant simply goes to Sensi.com and they put in your local area code as a lead consultant, you will start to show up in the consultant directory and you can start to get new customers that way. It is one of the best things about being a lead or above. So make sure that they understand that too, that as you start recruiting, as you start building a team, you're going to start to unlock more and more. Then you want to make sure that they know about all of the different training options available to them, the trainings that we have on our team page. You want to make sure that they understand about the Tuesday trainings and show them how to register for those. Make sure that they're following the Sensi consultant page and Dan Orchard's page, Heidi and Orville's page, depending on when you're watching this and who is doing those end of the month lives. And then you want to make sure that you've also introduced them to inspiring leaders on YouTube. The more they know, the more they're introduced to early on, the more successful they're going to be. This is especially important because not everyone is going to connect with everyone's style. Not everyone is going to be building a big empire business. So not everybody is going to have the same goals that I do. So they may not connect with me as a leader. Or maybe their style is more laid back, or maybe they're bigger into samples, or they want to focus on fundraisers. Whatever it is, introducing them to other leaders on YouTube or on social media, suggesting who they might follow on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, really will help them be successful, because there are 100,000 different ways to do this business. You know that, I know that. It's important that they know that. Authenticity is huge. It's also a good time to really introduce them to Sensi's core value of simplicity, generosity, authenticity. We want to make sure that they know that they can be exactly who they need to be in order to be successful. Introduce them to all of the things in our team page, the real life albums, the scent and warmer of the month albums that we do, all of the different ways that they can market their business and work their business. Speaking of scent and warmer of the month, this would be a great time to tell your new recruit about that program available to them at a discount. Introduce them to Sensi Club and Whiffbox and all of the different ways that they can work their business and should be working their business to introduce their customers to Sensi. Try not to overwhelm them and introduce a little bit at a time. and make sure that they know where to look for things in their workstation. Encourage them to play in the training center, encourage them to look through the marketing tab because they can't break the workstation. And the more they play, the more they're going to become comfortable. You also want to make sure that at this point, if they haven't already, that they are personalizing their own website, that they are kind of getting their feet wet with their own brand and how they're going to market their business. Are they going to be social selling on social media? What platforms do they want to use? And make sure that they understand compliance. That's a big one. We have a compliance video in our new consultant training series. We also want to make sure that they understand where on the workstation to see the compliance guide, to understand what to do and not to do, especially in this day and age when we're all on social media and there's so much social media marketing. This is where new consultants will get themselves into the most trouble. Finally, you also want to make sure that they understand how scammers work and understand this. This is also probably a good time to introduce them to our Ascension training website that is linked in our featured post under news. It's under where new consultants can find it. There's a password, so make sure that they have the password to get in. But this way, all of the things that you're introducing them to and sharing with them, it's all nicely organized in that website, and you won't have to remember everything to tell them before you've looked there while you're introducing it to them, and they won't have to remember all of this. The biggest thing that I have noticed in my own business as I am recruiting is when I put these systems into place for our group and our team, which you as a member of our group have access to all of this to help you be a great sponsor, really helped people be more successful because they didn't feel like they had to remember all of this and they didn't feel like they were bothering me with questions when they had the tools right in front of them and they knew exactly where to go to be able to find the answer to their question. Remember that you are your consultant's first person. So be watching for those first promotions when they hit shooting star, when they've entered their first party or booked their first party. All of those things deserve a shout out, and make sure that you're reaching out to them to encourage them, that you're shouting them out in our team page, and you're really making them feel like, hey, you can do this, because the reality is that they can. And sometimes we just need to hear that. Hey, you're doing a great job, which, by the way, if I haven't told you, you as a sponsor are doing a great job. Keep it up. Follow along with the checklist. It'll tell you everything that you need to know. But by this stage of the game, they are getting emails from Scentsy. They've worked with you. They've entered their first party. And really, they're probably pretty far along to where they're going to start to be a little bit more independent. The good news is that the more you do this, the more you're going to feel comfortable with it. And the further along they get, the more they're going to feel comfortable. It's always best. This is why it's really the best to get them started when they're excited and get them moving along. The consultants that join and then sit on it for a while, and then they've got a question here, and then they put it down for a month, and they come back again in a month with questions. When they're not going all in and they're not really absorbing everything right away, it's really hard because those are the consultants that we often feel like we're still explaining things to 6 months later, but in reality, they haven't really done 6 months of work. So the more that you're going to stay on your consultant and help them along the way as they're getting started and really work with the momentum of that excitement, the better off you're both going to be. They're going to be successful and you are going to feel like you have really helped somebody get there because you have. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. There is the new sponsors kind of training page in our Ascension training page. And then again, you have your checklist, you have consultant support on your side, you have me as your SSD here to help you, guide you with your new teammate. And I am so excited for both of you. Cannot wait to see where this takes you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.